Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It is completely free to subscribe, and I would love to have you as part of my crafty family here on YouTube. And don't forget to check out my website and sign up for my email newsletter. The website is linked down below in the description. In today's video, I'm really excited to show you guys how to layer HTV. Layering HTV can be pretty intimidating for people, but I promise it's actually really easy. But there are some steps you need to follow to make sure that you get a good quality press and that you don't burn your HTV or mess up anything with your pressing. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up and cut out all of the vinyl, weed it, and then I'm going to show you guys how to press it. So let's get started. We're going to use this fun design to show you guys how to truly layer HTV. This design is available on my website if you want to get it. I created this one. But it's really easy to layer and everybody gets so afraid to do it, and I don't want you to be afraid to do it because it is really easy and really fun. This is actually a true layering because the white Let's Get Lit does sit on the navy blue background. Everything else is not layered, but that part is. So I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks on how to layer and how to get it done successfully. So when you get this design, you'll already have everything pieced together. You won't need to do anything with it. But one thing I like to do is select the entire design, and I like to flip mine on my canvas rather than wait until I get to the mat. That way I don't forget to mirror it, and that way I also don't take the chance that Cricut might not mirror it. So I'm going to go ahead and click Make It, and I'll show you all of the different layers that you have. You'll have a white layer, then you'll have red, and we'll also have a blue layer. So what we're going to do is use Siser Easyweed for this project, and we're going to cut all three colors. I'll show you guys how to load your HTV onto the mat, how to cut it, and then how to weed it, and then I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to do layering. I don't want you to be intimidated anymore. We're ready to load our vinyl onto our mat. So it starts with the white, then moves to the red, and then the blue. So when you're using HTV, you want to make sure that you're putting the carrier sheet side down. You'll hear a lot of people say the shiny side, but not all HTV has a shiny side. So with this one, you want to make sure that you double check which side is your carrier sheet. And an easy way to do that is just take a pin pen or your weeding tool and peel up one of the corners. It doesn't matter if you peel just a small corner because it's never going to cut in that corner to begin with. And you can see that you have one side that's clear right here, and then this side is your vinyl side. So that really helps you know which side to place down on your mat when you're cutting. Now this cuts on the everyday iron-on setting, and please don't come at me for using a blue mat. This blue mat is actually relatively sticky, so it works fine for this. It's no big deal. And I'm actually going to use the bottom of my mat to do this because my bottom of my mat is much stickier than the top of my mat. As long as your mat is sticky, you don't really have to worry too much about using blue versus green. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my mat into my Cricut. And when you do that, I see a lot of people say, oh, it's cutting the top of my mat. Make sure you give just a little bit of pressure when putting your mat in, so help it slide in. I'll go ahead and hit the go button and let you guys watch this cut. Now that I have everything cut out of my HTV, it's time to weed. And if you don't know what weeding is, it's just removing excess vinyl that you're not going to use. So anything that is the background or like inside of letters, things like that. I use my trusty handy dandy pin pen. I absolutely love this. If you don't have one, I'll link it below. It's fantastic. It just makes weeding really easy. It just has a little needle tip on the end, which makes everything super easy. So we'll start with the red. And again, this is just Siser Easyweed. It weeds pretty well. It's not anything too difficult in this design. So all I do is I just peel up a corner and then begin to peel back. Now, occasionally I will get something that didn't cut great, which the corner of the stars on this design don't always cut fantastic for me. So you may just need to go a little bit slow and kind of help it along. I also quite possibly do need a new blade. So here's one way to know if you need a new blade. If you know for a fact that you cut this on a good cut setting and it always cuts fine any other time, but you see how it's kind of pulling up the edge of my star as I'm pulling my vinyl? That's how I know I need to change out my blade. So that's definitely going to be something that I need to do today. So in the meantime, this should weed fine. It just might take us a little bit longer. We'll just need to take our time and go slow and hold the pieces down as we weed. But it'll still weed fine. It's just not cut as well as I would like it to be. But again, we just know that now we need to change our blade. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the weeding process. That way you guys don't have to watch the whole thing. Use a scoop neck tee for this. So normally you would use the measurement of 2 to 3 fingers. With this one, I like to go only about 2 to 1.5 fingers down from the collar for the design. So the first thing that I do is grab all of my pieces parts, and I'm not putting this on the shirt actually lined up, so don't worry. I'm just lining it up on the design right now. I'm not actually putting this on the shirt where it's going to sit, so don't fret. This is just kind of a mock-up to see what it looks like and to get it centered, and then we'll peel up the top layers and leave the bottom where it goes. So this is an older shirt. It's been washed like a million times, so don't worry, you can absolutely wash them and use them. Just try not to use fabric softener when you wash them if you're going to put HTV on them. So a quick trick I like to do is I take my decal or my HTV here and I fold it in half, so about where half is, and then I crease the carrier sheets just right where there isn't any vinyl, and that shows me where center is, and then I can just center it based on that. And then I just, like I said, I go about 2 fingers to 1.5 fingers down. That looks pretty good and pretty straight. So now what we're gonna do is peel off the other 2 layers. So we'll peel off our white layer, and then we'll go and peel off our red layer. This just helps you make sure you get everything lined up and straight and even before you press down your shirt. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is get our heat press set. Now this is Easyweed stretch. So this actually presses at 320 for 15 seconds, and then I use a firm pressure on this. So we'll get this all set, and then I'm going to show you how to successfully press your designs. So once your heat press is up to temperature, you can press this, but I do have a pressing pillow under my shirt. This helps raise the design up off of any of the seams, like the sleeves or the collar. So you want to make sure all those seams are off of your pressing pillow. And then I also have a Teflon sheet right here at the top of my press. Now, my press, I went ahead and put magnets on this Teflon sheet. That way I never forget it. I don't have to worry about where it went to or getting blown away or whatever. So it's always attached to my press. So what we're going to do is just press this for just a few seconds to tack it down. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and put my press down. I'm just going to tack it just a couple of seconds, maybe 3, and that's all you simply need for your first layer. And then you can go ahead and peel your carrier sheet up. You'll want to do that after each layer. You don't want to press a carrier sheet on top of another. Now your shirt might get a little wrinkled when you do that, so go ahead and smooth it back down. And then take your next layer. You can do either the white or the red next. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do the white next just because I feel like that one is pretty easy to line up because of the shadow layer. Now what you're going to do is press this next layer for just a couple seconds again. So we're just going to go with a firm pressure, press that down just a couple seconds, and go ahead and release. And then you can again peel up your carrier sheet. Now this is a warm peel product, which makes a difference. So you want to make sure you know what kind of product you're using, whether it's cold peel or warm peel. And then our last layer is our red layer. So we're going to go ahead and line this up. And you just want to make sure that you get this lined up as best you can. There we go. Now for this one, we're going to press this for the full 15 seconds. Now, I don't let my heat press beep because it annoys my animals, so I just go ahead and pull it up. I always have my press set a few seconds past what I actually need it to. So I'm going to go ahead and let this cool down before I move it because it is very, very warm. And then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like now that we've gone ahead and layered our vinyl. Now that we've pressed our shirt, it's all done. Now I will say, and it's hard to see on camera, but there is a little bit of a discoloration on the shirt from where our heat press was. Don't worry, that will go away. It just has to do with the heat and the moisture based on, you know, the fabric. So it will go away, so don't fret. And this is really bad with red colored shirts, so you'll see it a lot with red, but it's just around here from where that heat press was. Don't worry, that will absolutely go away. Now this shirt is 60% cotton and 40% polyester. Polyester is a great product to press on because it can handle really high heat, which is great, and cotton is also fantastic. Layering really shouldn't be something that you're afraid of. You can see how easy this was, and I really enjoyed doing it. It just does take a little bit of practice and patience. But once you do it, you will be able to do it 100 more times. So don't be scared to try new things. The worst thing that can happen is that you mess it up and you have to start over. It's not the end of the world. I would rather mess something up and have to start over and learn a lesson than be afraid to try something new. If you guys have any questions about this or any other crafts, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as part of my crafty family here on YouTube. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.